Wednesday. I just got off a 2.5 hour call with a friend of mine, Caitlyn, Make Laugh Medicine. I'm going to tag her little, I say little, she's got a big account. She's a badass lady. Anyway, chatting shit about this life, creating, doing your own thing, building your own offers, not listening to people, not wanting to listen to other people's formulas, not wanting to be told what to do, but also wanting to be told what to do. Ah, it's so tough in the beginning. It's so hard. You're laying breadcrumbs for so long, and you never know if anything's going to work. Everything always takes longer than it's supposed to, or you've been told to, or you hope and wish for. And so you never know how long you need to be putting effort into something before changing trajectory. And I think that's where, in terms of finding the one thing or finding the few things, that's actually where the search has been, right? It's the what are the foundations that no matter what is being built on top, what is the pulse of the foundations? Because that needs to be happening behind the scenes. That needs to be the lifeblood of the operation. Everything else then gets built on top of that. And like we've learnt many moons ago, and we will be learning time and time again, is that if the foundations are rocky, everything's going to fall down at some point. Or that's when things get difficult, and you make things more difficult down the line for yourself and more expensive down the line for yourself because you rush a build and then you'll be paying for damages and running around like a headless chicken with the duct tape, closing up leaks and holes, and it's more exhausting than just to be patient, build the foundation so that they're strong, set up the structure, and now you get to invite as many people into it as you want, and you know it's not going to collapse. Then you know it's about renovating, maintenance, and building what you need to sustain how many new people can now come into your house. It's kind of how Shoshana had described building these personal brands and building these pages and building these layouts, and I really like it. It's like you are building your online home. You are showing people your taste. You are showing people your life. You are inviting them into your living room. And kind people get to stay. The people that resonate get to stay. And if anybody doesn't like the decor, or if anybody doesn't like what they see here, they are free to leave. There is the front door, but this is my house, this is my rules. You are a guest in my space. I am welcoming, I will invite you, but I also don't take people's shit if they don't want to be here. You don't have to shit on it, all right? I still find this the most bizarre thing about the internet, and I bring this up because Becca just did a reel and we were talking about it in terms of trying to hit those viral posts in a way that aren't so formulated but hit that those new numbers so that you get eyeballs and you break through this reach. I think this has been a big thing on the algorithms and a lot of topic of conversation for a lot of creators for a long time. It's like, how do you gain more reach? How do you bust through these little walls that you feel like you're in when you're posting as a small account, right? And that's why people want to go viral, because they want that big burst of eyeballs to see if everything is going to filter through. The funny thing is, the reason why people say the virality doesn't last is because usually people are so egotistical that they assume they can handle everything that's going to come with the backlash of that, and they're not normally prepared. They don't either have the infrastructure, or they're not actually prepared for the shit that is also coming their way with the positivity that is thrown at you when things like that happen. Also, if your program and if what you're actually providing is not great, you're going to end up in a worse position going viral than you are if you just quietly figured it out by yourself. So protect your reputation as well. Like if you're peddling shit and you're just trying to go viral for the sake of that, well, this is probably not the house that you should be sitting in anyway. So go somewhere else. But in terms of getting those eyeballs, finding that new reach, finding your people, tapping into these new things, I had a visual of you see all these different worlds. I've talked about worlds within worlds. Like you've got the golf world, and within the golf world, you've got all the branding, the designing, the events that comes with that, the different leagues, the different players, the different brands. You've got everything. And if you're not in that world, you don't know. Same as the F1 world. You've got the cars, you've got the engineers, you've got all of that. That's its own world. And then, moving into even different worlds, you've got the real estate world, you've got the electronics world, you've got the toy games world, you've got the bridal expo world, you've got the worlds. You've got the F&B, you've got wine, worlds, so many worlds. And within each of these worlds, there are people that enjoy things from other worlds. I think this is where finally people are understanding the whole thing that Dan Coe has been preaching since the beginning, is that you are the niche, right? And as a multifaceted human being, you are allowed to be interested in different things. The common denominator is that you sit at the base of all of that. You are the anchor, right? That is the one thing that doesn't change. My favorite was when I heard JK Molina say this at the end of his workshops. He was laughing about people keep trying to put him in boxes, and he was going, he's like, people kept trying to ask me, it's like, what are you, a coach? Like, are you this, are you that? He's like, I'm just the guy. I'm just the guy people come to. I'm just the guy. Don't put a label on me. And then when he talked about ideal client, he was like, oh yeah, ideal client avatar, building I don't know, my ideal client is my help is useful and you can pay me. That is my ideal client. What I have is useful to you and you can pay me. That is it. It does not need to be Sally, who's 24, who's had a midlife crisis at a certain age, and because she's had this type of parents who are divorced with a dog and a chihuahua, and only because I am talking to that specific person will that person come out of the woodwork. It's like, no, there are a lot of us, again, nuance. Some demographics and services get that niche, and that's great. If you're in that zone, be that zone. If you are in a broad enough, market, my first thought was like dog grooming, but you prefer only doing big size dogs or little size dogs, you can niche down in with that if you would like, but don't cap yourself to it because you feel like you have to. You can technically do it for all species, all ages, all groups, like personal training. It's the same thing. Just because I'm a personal trainer doesn't mean I need to niche down to males over 40 or females over 40 that are going through this, that have 1.5 babies and have, been through a divorce, da 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 da. If that's you and you would like to niche down and have that be the first set of clients that you start serving, great. But don't let that define your entire client pool. It's silly. There's no need. If you can help people and they listen to your advice when they pay you, positive action. That's it. Helping people take positive action towards what it is they can do with a piece of something that you have experience with or that you actually have turned into a service or a product and found repeatable results over time. That's the fun thing about going into the gym again and realizing that. It's like with my programs. I have a base program for everybody. I even took that off my husband. We've got the German strength training program. That's what you learn in the books. That's what you've been given. That's what you've been taught. There's the base. But when your client walks in, you have to figure out, is there an imbalance? Do they have a niggle on their right ankle? Do they have a hip thing? The other day my client came in. He hadn't slept very well, right? So I'm not going to kill him at the gym before he then has to go to 8 hours at his office job. We're going to do a session. We're still going to hit an intensity, but we're going to change it up. That's the nature of what a coach can do and where your value lies, but doesn't negate the fact that there are foundational principles that are required to also, that you can, send people to an offer or anything. Sort of cycling this back where that tangent went off of. I need to breathe. Let me have some tea. Earl Grey today. I went to the shops. I did get some tea. I have to go to the shops later. I would like to make something yummy for my husband today. Make some iced tea. Don't know what yet. If any of you have any cooking ideas or recipes, like easy ones, I'm the type of person that nukes and burns food. So easing into learning how to cook. I'm actually not bad when I have time and when I have patience. But sometimes it doesn't how my brain operates. Anyway, cycling back. Viral posts. So being able to create pieces of content that allow you to hit different networks and different things, right? So you can, this was something that Gary Vee had said about the 2026 projections of what will work for building your personal brand. It's like, yes, talk about your topic. Yes, talk about this, like the main thing that you're doing, whether you are selling your art or you're selling your coaching services or you're doing whatever, but don't be afraid to suddenly then do a video of you playing golf or a video of you going swimming or a video of you training or a video of you doing pottery or making something, because then the group of people that would be overlapping looking for coaching and also somebody that does pottery is a bit smaller and it gets more specific. This was where I've seen this happen in practice with Tom Noski. There is a very small amount of people in the world that actually train Ironman and triathlon trainings. He is now an online business coach. If you have not come across this gentleman and you resonate with his stuff, join Time to Build. Holy crap. I'll put a link below as well. I'm actually pretty sure I can get an affiliate one. I was grandfathered into the main program. He's now changed up the model, so I don't think I have access to certain things, but I'm still keeping my eyes out and ears to the ground. And holy crap, what that man has built is insane. He is also races his F1 simulator at home, so he has his geeky out nerdy friends that talk about that too. But he realized in his group of people that were coming into Time to Build, not only were they looking to build their personal brands online and create their own product, service, digital assets, whatever, but they were also, majority of them were athletes, triathletes, cyclists. And to find that percentage of that many people all in one place is insane. And that is what I think I'm talking about when I speak about that lining up that 8-ball shot. It's you bringing out the best possible versions of you that's not negating everybody else. It's just showing the different facets that people can come in and access, be more connected to you. Like they will just be, by nature, be more connected to you and trust you more, because they've also resonated with you on a different level. And I shit you not, if you have some sort of fitness achievements, this is why I still feel like this is the foundation of everything. It does go mind, movement, media in my brain in terms of orders, but there's no particular order that these three go in. They all have to kind of coincide. Your mental health and your sanity, your body, your physical health. You are a walking billboard. If you are not taking care of yourself, why should people at a certain level be listening to your advice? It's like, oh, yeah, it's very, again, it's nuanced here because you don't necessarily say, I guess this is where maybe the fitness industry has a warped perspective of what actually, okay, this is an interesting one. This is a very warped perspective of what actually constitutes education and knowledge versus what we've been trained to look at. So my first thing was almost about to say, like, oh, you wouldn't trust a fat trainer. And it's true, actually. You wouldn't trust an overweight trainer who looked morbidly obese that was telling you to do something about fitness. I think where my brain got funny, it's like, I find it's more the James Smith angle thing. It's like you don't need to be shredded in order to be a good personal trainer, because when you actually go through that process, you realize that is not a sustainable lifestyle long term, which means that has been sold a lie. So majority of the fitness industry is actually trying to kick people out of that silly little lie. Same I'm finding with my female clients now getting on the gym floor. I am so grateful that I've dealt and battled with a lot of these hurdles in terms of detaching my self-worth to my metrics and to how this is looked. But by default, it's also made me want to take care of this more, which means I actually feel more confident and in turn feel more beautiful and in turn actually feel more magnetic by taking care of myself without it being this weird pressure of needing six packs and stuff is not the right goal. Fueling your body and building it and being strong and having muscle, it doesn't mean you're never going to have cellulite. It doesn't mean you're never going to have bloated days. It doesn't mean you're never going to feel like, you don't have to be this chiseled. I think we're getting off topic with what I want to try and say on this. Regardless, it kind of just comes back to make sure that people that you're listening to advice from have actually done the thing that you want to achieve in that facet. So again, Tom Nosky with the Time to Build, the fact that he was creating and helping and build workshops for teaching people how to build their personal brands, he had built his personal brand around his triathlon training and around doing that and then going through the finish line. You've seen him accomplish a goal. You've seen him do something that then requires, that it's just that level of dedication and commitment. It shifts the human brain. It's like, okay, well, if they've already set that for themselves and accomplished it, and now this is what they're teaching and they're starting to see results, and they've done it in a way that makes sense, where they've actually got the testimonials, they're now building, they're doing it correctly. Oh, it's so frustrating to see people do it so fast and so shit, and then we get a bad name online for the fast and the shit stuff. And then you see people who are doing it slow, doing it correctly, and then they don't always get the recognition, and then suddenly they become these overnight successes, and then you get all the other shits going, oh yeah, they did it overnight. It's like, no, they actually did it the slow burn way, which is the way that works, which is the way that suddenly you're an overnight success because you've put in the damn reps that nobody can knock you off your tracks. Nobody can fuck with your North Star because you're tougher than that. You've put yourself through more shit than that. Like, you've come out the other side and chosen joy over that. You've chosen more over lack. You've chosen abundance over sitting in that shit. You've chosen to thrive instead of just survive. And it's like, everybody gets to make that choice. And when you saying about these worlds as well. I feel like I'm finally glitching out of this world that is stuck in this survival mode that feeds that and is okay with feeding that. I've now found enough of the people over here, and I'm only seeing more and more doors open up, which means I know there are more worlds where the baseline is happiness, wealth, and fucking whimsy. Like, holy crap, if you do not make this fun, what is the point? What is the point? And if you have fully lost your sense of humor because you have hustled yourself into submission and into the ground and into sadness, no wonder why nothing is working or feeling any form of clarity. You have to find your sense of humor again with life, with hobbies, with beauty, with art, with fucking creation, and build your own style and your own sense, even if it's, shoddy to start with, even if it's not fully where you want to be. Like, we're moving into new games and new things, but in order to do that, you also have to do your reps and go through the things. Like, you can't bypass. Doesn't mean it can't happen quickly, all right? And again, the quicker you can step into it and live within this, it's that be do have, all right? And that's how you bypass it. You be you be all the fun things here, even in all the shit, even in all the crap around you. You find the fun, you find the humor, you find the light, you find the time, you find the way. What is the minimum that needs a heartbeat to build your personal brand? Do your side quests to keep you afloat and make sure rent's going. Find a way to make money ludicrous just so that you can set something up. Find a way to create. That's going to be my next thing as well. I gave Caitlyn an idea for a few low-hanging little, like, low-ticket fruit stuff to kind of test a few options. I need to do the same thing. I want to get people funneling into my newsletter because I'm really enjoying writing that, and I know that there's gold in there. And Monday to Friday, that cadence is set. I'm now talking to people. I've got a small list, and I've had a small list for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm ready now. I've been doing my reps. I've found my flow. I found my voice. I found my cadence. I found my fucking spine. We grew it. We got a cage. We've got 4 screws and a cage in there. So it's metal. It's not going anywhere. And yeah, now do it. Now enjoy it. Now have fun. Now build. Now do the work. Now do the things. Now do the things. That's it. Do the things. Find the people that you're also doing the things with. Same thing. I always say it, and I'll say it again. Mentors to guide you and to give you guardrails. Peers that are in the trenches that you can talk about this fucked up shit that happens and this weird, awkward glitching. And I mean, we were even laughing today about our personalities. We're both manifesting generators, me and Caitlyn. Going back to Caitlyn, and as we've been building these things, I've always had this weird thing of even finding coaches and finding stuff. Well, when I was doing it in the wrong communities, it's like, don't tell me what to do. Like, I want somebody to tell me what to do, but then when I get given my to-do list, I'm like, don't tell me what to do. I know what to do. And then we were laughing because we even find we do it with ourselves. So, like, even the amount of times over the last few years, I was adamant that the way that I had to work was by scheduling and planning and setting a list and finding my blocks and planning out my week and doing all the things. And then I get this other little brain inside there going, don't tell me what to do. So I self-sabotage the week, and then I think I'm worthless or useless for not being able to follow the plan because we made a plan and it was such a good plan, and then why don't we want to do the plan when we get to the day of the plan? And it's like, because I don't want people to tell me what to do with my days. Not even you. So then there's weird dance between discipline and doing it, and I've had to work with blocks, like just blocks of things, 3 things that need to get done every day. That's the 3 minimum. As long as those get done, it doesn't matter what order or when, they just have to get done. And that's it, rotating blocks. Jess McKinley has a very good teaching on this. One of Becca's students, she's a coach, I think, as well, in Hell Yes Coaching Now. Awesome. I can't wait to meet her in person one day too. Time management workshop webinar thing that she's got, brilliant. And it's knowing that things will always, as long as they're on a certain list somewhere, they will come round because you've allocated blocks of when you're doing certain things, and you've also allocated bonus time blocks of different lists of things that go on a bonus time list. So if for some reason something cancels and you get bonus time, something from that list comes in to fruition. So you know that as long as you're going throughout your days and you're leaving enough time for space and enough time for the work, things are getting done and moving. And then as you meet the day with whatever energy that you've got, you give that. But it might be subpar, it might be over par. If you then have an hour allocated and you work for 3, great. If you haven't allocated, it can only fit 20 in, still got some work done. Things are moving forward. And so it's that setting yourself up with these weird guardrails where you're not giving yourself so much pressure that you make it unfun. You're not making it too suffocating that it gets non-sustainable. You want to make it sustainable. Editing, you got to take into consideration where your skill sets are. I realized very early on I do not want to edit, but I also then struggled to figure out how I wanted to do this. And so I had to set the guardrails, minimum 10 minutes, open-ended, start with a topic, see what comes up. If all else fails, pull a tarot card and speak from that. Speak about what's true, speak about what's happening, speak about what you're envisioning. There are no other rules. See what comes up. And that's been actually one of the funnest things for me to unfold and play with. Now, that might scare the shit out of somebody else and be like, that's not how I want to do it. And some people work better with the planning, with the prepping, with the scheduling, with then the light edits, and then getting it out. Great. Do that. Find your version of that. But we are literally now coming into the times where building your personal brand and building something that you can be safe with while everything else in the world is honestly, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy out there. Things are moving so fast, especially now with all this AI stuff. The good and the bad are coming in full force and at multiple ends. The amount of information now that's also coming out about how shitty people have been. There's a lot of distrust around, but there's also a lot of trust for the people that have been pillars of their communities. So be a pillar for yourself. Set your anchor. Set something that you can stand for and build your house online that you can invite people to, that is a safe space for your services, for your products, or whatever it is that you want to do, because the rest of the world can figure out the rest of the world. You've got to make sure that you are happy within your own little ecosystem, and that is honestly the best thing I think people can do for the world right now, is to make sure that they're okay and make sure that their little bubble is okay. And whether your bubble, like, you have access online, so your bubble can still be global, even keeping it small, but keep it small. What do you care about? What makes you happy? Find the little things of enjoyment and find a way to not feel guilty for having a hobby or doing something that you enjoy and taking rest time. Because if you can glitch out of that, the rest starts to become a lot easier. You are literally the last person that you have to convince that all of this is possible. Most people can already see it in you if this has been on your mind or in a dream and you've already started to potentially go after it. Any kind of feelings of defeat that you're having, it's part of the game, but that's also meaning you do not have enough people around you that are pulling you forward and through. There are too many people moving. There are too many people doing so many incredible things. Find a cart, hitch a ride, and fucking... That's why Shoshana Raven's thing is called the vortex. Like, even she says, because you literally learn by osmosis. You come into a group with so many people who are doing so many incredible things that it can't not change your brain. Of course, that doesn't mean that everybody has the amazing results, because people are very good at talking themselves out of it. Oh, it's not for me. Oh, it's not. Find your version within it. This is the problem. You have to find your version within it, and no one person out there is ever going to match that completely. So find the pieces, find the elements, and get closer to those people. That is your golden ticket out of wherever it is that you're out of. Find the people, have the conversations, start formulating your own ideas and your own opinions and getting those out online. That doesn't mean that they have to be set in stone. And at the rate that new information is coming out, nothing is set in stone right now, except the fact that proof that you are posting and proof that you are showing up, that is going to be set in stone. You can't fake the fact that you've been uploading for years. You can't fake the fact that you've been tackling these topics in public over time just because you want to. That's it. You want to. So, yeah, I don't know. Whatever it is you want to be building, it's possible. This is exactly what my strategy sessions are for. Ideally, if you can do your chart too, do the chart. I've got them in my, I've got them in my bio thing. I'm going to be shutting down the link for the bots before I go away. I'm actually going to take that off this month because I'm going to release virtual Maja for the founding members that are already in there, the 5 founding members that are already in there for while I'm away, because I know them personally, I trust them, they're close friends, clients, and people that are using and implementing the work with the bots, and it's amazing. I love it. But I'm going offline for 3 weeks, and I cannot think of anything worse than feeling distracted while I'm in the mountains about that when I don't have the proper infrastructure to have... Actually, I do have a friend that I can pay to oversee it in case anything goes on with the credits and stuff. But yeah, again, just How do you build the environment so that you're pushing yourself forward and you're doing the scary things, but you're not tripping yourself up along the way? There is no point. You get no bonus points for burning out again. You get no bonus points for looking like shit and feeling like shit for a long period of time and complaining about feeling like shit without changing it. No bonus points. That's on you. No bonus points for struggling so much and for making it out to be so much more difficult than it is. No bonus points. Like I said to Caitlyn as well, it's time for us to be playing different games. We all need to be autonomously good and have our own income stream so that we can then build and play different games together. Because this is so much more fun. So many more fun things can be doing and can be being done. I look at what like Kat's doing over in LA with Cat Labs, the Cat GPT lady. A little walking group walking past the house. Our house lives on a path that goes onto the Macklehose Trail, which one of the most famous trails in Hong Kong. It's like 100 kilometers across the city. We're on between section 9 and 10. Anyway, yeah, and I don't know. We both said at the end of the conversation, it's like 2.5 hours just vanished, and we both feel more alive and more prepared to go and tackle the day. And it's that energy that you should be feeling with the work that you're doing. It's the energy that I feel doing this, even though I'm waking up some mornings, like tomorrow morning, I'll be filming this again at 5 o'clock in the morning, tired and a bit bleary eyed. Like, there's something about the building of your own stuff. Like, if you can latch onto that curiosity and that excitement of, I'm co-creating with something that is continuously evolving like I am, and it's okay to be learning. It's okay to be learning and implementing. That's why you need those sections of people. That's why you need people before, people next to you, and people below you that you're helping and you're serving. Because in any other area of life, people are always at different points. Like, doesn't mean that you also can't learn from others. I learn so much from my clients in other domains, but they come to me for the domain that I geek out in, which is the marketing, the storytelling, the seeing the magic, and the coming up with the creative ways to actually bring an offer or something to life, because you might not have thought of that angle, or you might not have thought that was possible, or you did think it was possible, but you talked yourself out of it. Like, I love being the fun police, actually, and making sure that you are having the fun in the business. Because if there is no fun to be had, something is going wrong. And that's the plan that should change. And you can't lead with joy when you're miserable. So get not miserable first. Helps by getting more sleep or starting to get more sleep. Oh, it's such an interwoven web of not being one thing. Three things: mentors, peers, clients that you're helping. Three things: mind, body, media. Mind, movement, media. It's my three pillars: your mental health, your physical health, and your soul health. You. What are you creating for you, that you are building for you, that will last because it comes with you? That is the personal brand. That is the area that I enjoy teaching. That's the area I enjoy talking about. So yeah, strategy sessions. Option one-off strategy sessions, 90 minutes, because we usually only get to the good stuff at 60 with my conversations anyway. Option two, with the charts as well. This week is the last week I can get the charts to you and the strategy session before I go offline. If you're not in a rush, I highly recommend option two, because at least with the charts, it means my sister can brief me on how my charts also best serve you. So not only do we have the baseline of what strategy I would tend to kind of, I guess, edge you towards in whatever it is that you're building, we can set the baseline. We can also dream big and then work out MVP that will get you on that track and edge you towards that North Star. Whether whether the MVP works out as we expected is a whole nother story, but that's the point of this game. Figure out the steps, make the steps, action steps, come and figure out a new plan and go out and do it again. Happy Wednesday, guys. I gotta go painting. I'm gonna go paint for an hour. I love how I looked at a watch. I haven't worn a watch in ages. I took off my smartwatch because I didn't enjoy wearing it for a while. Probably do need to put it back on, get my steps in the gym and track that, but I also know how I'm feeling right now. I don't actually need the data to tell me, and I think that sometimes as well we get too stuck in the data to come back out. Oh, that was the damn point that I'd brought up at the beginning. I'll end with this. because I'd seen Becca do her reel about it, and I told Caitlyn that might be her way of getting those little viral posts, because it is, right? It looks simple, but it's about the psychology and how you structure everything. That's why Jessie Jean has now just made $7 million on a damn fucking Yap challenge, because there is rhyme to the reason, all right? There's a way of that working and clicking. And again, everybody has to find their version of that. But what Becca had said that has been really helping her reels go viral at the moment is planted conflict. And obviously not in a being a dick kind of way, not in a always needing to be political kind of way, but it's the what things are you afraid to sometimes say out loud. Come here, come say hi. Gave him a little haircut yesterday. I don't know if you can see it. Come here. No. Oh, you're my friend. I know. This is Lincoln. Planted conflict. So she'd put up a reel that said something about Metallica being her favorite band, and then the song that she played on the reel was Disturbed. Ding 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 ding. Comments. Trolls with their swords. That's not Metallica. He's like, yep, I know. I was telling Caitlyn about this, and they said that was in one of her community groups that she's learning how to do some of this online TikTok shop stuff from as well. They said that's one of the ways that they also teach you for the psychology is it's rage baiting, but in the nicest possible way. Where I've seen it now more and more coming out of my feed, and I think that's, when you spot some of these things, you'll spot it and you'll learn it. So again, don't be crazy with it, use tactics with a pinch of salt, but find your version of that. Like, what is something that's, like, what button do you know you can poke, or what in your business that if you say out loud, you'd have people going, yeah, but you'd have the Karens basically going, yeah, but you, and you'd be going, yeah, but I'm the professional, and actually, if that never happened again, you'd be fine. Or like, if you did this, you would actually be better. Or, I think in the reel she made a comment about one of her clients who's a dentist. The example was they'd said something about you can change the way your kids look. Like, you can help save them by getting them braces by a certain year, because it stops their eyes from sinking, and it can help, shaping out their jawline, and this, like, you can help them with that by a certain age. And she never wanted to talk about that, and Becca was like, that's what you have to post. It's those things that you say to your clients behind closed doors that you wish that you could say on a fucking megaphone. If you can get brave enough to say those, the quicker you get brave enough to say those, the quicker everything starts to collapse into now. And that's the game. I think it's that race to zero fucks within yourself as to how you're putting out your content and how you're presenting yourself, and being as close to you outside of this as you can be, so that there is no barrier, there is no performance, there is no me needing to get ready to be me, because I am me all the time. Outside of the camera, this is me. This is who you will meet. You don't then suddenly meet somebody completely different. That's where the disconnect is. Don't worry about what's coming in, but finding that way to post from that gut instinct. Post from what it is you know to be true. And you don't have to say that this will always be the case. You can even be very, when you're open-minded enough to change your mind when new information is presented to you, that you can take a critical thought and go, you know what, all right, fine. Maybe my views on this are now fully outdated. I will shift to that. I can take on a new perspective. Nuance here. When people decide to then pull you up from 5 years, oh, but you said that. Yeah, I said it then. Now I know more, I do better. New quote, like, just remind your brain that you can combat anything that comes at you. And with the perspectives that people are coming out with their swords out online, make it fun, make it a game, almost try and trigger the damn trolls and see what happens. There's one hilarious woman online that rage baits her, like, she gets paid thousands of dollars now. And the way she gets people online is by smacking her stomach. She's she's an overweight lady, and she's married, she's got a farm, she's fucking hilarious. Like, she's building her page, and she's literally creating content about the fact that she is rage baiting men online about her looks, and that they believe that she shouldn't be posting videos online, and she's making an entire living off of that. Play the game, rig the game, win the game. You can rig whatever game you want. And so that's what my strategy sessions really outline. So yeah, if you want to get option 2 with the chart, and you don't have a rush or something that you feel like you want to discuss right now, definitely recommend the chart option, because it means we get to the roots, And like I said, Sam just briefs me on where my chart actually supports your chart better, so that whatever you leave with, you're not feeling overwhelmed with what the next steps are, and you can go on your way. But just so you know, after this week, that chart option would do the strategy session when I get back. So it'll be end of September, beginning of October when we have that done. So yeah, if you want a strategy session this side, I'm still opening one per week for the next 3-4 weeks, 4 weeks now. So the spot's still available for this week, 3 weeks after that available, and then we're going offline for 3 weeks. Links are in the bio. Jump into my newsletter. This is just the beginning of the journey. I'm really excited to see how this unfolds. And Caitlyn's definitely going to be one of my first spill the tea episodes with me. That was something I wanted to develop as an offshoot of this with my creator friends. Once a month, at least, from when I get back from the mountains, I want to be doing spill the tea episodes where I just chit chat with a friend and we record it and put it online, basically, and talk about how ludicrous this whole thing is. This whole game, how ludicrous it is, but how I'd much rather pick this battle and be moving towards this world than be stuck ruminating in what was. I've, fought too hard to get away from that, and I've cleared enough of the shit to realize what matters to me. So, find your values, find your own North Star, find it within. If you're still way off and up in the clouds, go train, go do something fun. Go laugh, go find things that make you laugh for a little bit. Go hang out with free people that put a smile on your face, and then see if you can get a bit of relief from the pressure of the worlds right now, because it's too much and it's stifling everything else. So you're not going to have a clear thought unless you can find your sense of humor. So find that first, and then the rest starts to become a lot more easier because it's coming at you, and it's only going to get it's only going to get to different levels. I love that people assume, and I had for a long time as well, that when you get to certain things, other things stop. It's like, no, the problems that you deal with are much bigger and much harder, and they hit a lot harder. So you have to have a bigger sense of humor and a bigger perspective of seeing the silver lining of everything that gets thrown at you, because there is a bigger plan, or something is being, moved in your direction. Like, there's so much more that we don't know. So let go of control. It's not in your hands anyway, half the time. Oh, I think it's so much less in our hands than we realize. That's why we just got to stay present, stay spidey senses alert, and move from there. And now I have to go. Go nicely, rage bait people, and see if you can go viral. Happy Wednesday, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.